but you don't have to come back because you're going to fail this semester because you're just too behind. I wasn't doing my homework, wasn't passing the test. And I told him, like, thank you very much, bro. Left the class, never went back in, and all this kind of happened at that same exact time. So I'm lying to my parents saying I'm going to school. I'm still working at Dunkin', not making money, and now I'm trying to figure out how to make money trading Forex when I have no idea how to trade Forex. And little did I know that this journey of trading Forex was about to be the most darkest and brutal journey that I could have ever anticipated for it to be. I entered a rabbit hole so deep, I put myself so deep into this that I had either getting out or dying. There was no other option. I was so much into debt. All the little bit of money that I had saved up from my job, I put into it. I asked my parents for money, telling them that it was going to be for financial aid and for books, and I put it into trading. All of it blown. I got a total sum of about $28,000, $29,000 that I blew in literally 3 months of me getting into this journey of trading. And I can't go and tell my parents that I lost the money they gave me for school trading. I have Cuban parents that they don't even know how to use a computer. They would kick me out of the house to disown me. At this point, I had either an option to succeed or I was doomed. And my family ended up finding out that I stopped going to college. They found out that I lost all the money, and they found out how I lost it. And that wasn't a nice conversation, telling my parents that I haven't been going to school and I've been trying to figure out how to make money online and make back this debt of $30,000. It really wasn't a good conversation to have at all. But at that very point, I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, dude, you've pretty much tried everything out there. You definitely don't want to continue to stay at the job. There's other people in this niche that are successful. What do they have different that you don't? Nothing. They're all human at the end of the day. The only thing they have ahead of me is time. They put more time into this craft than I have. I'm about a year into this journey and I've done nothing but lose. They have 8 years in front of me and they do nothing but win. Well, maybe I just have to put more time into it. And that's exactly what I did. I put my head down every single day, 10 hours a day, looking at nothing other than the charts. What ended up happening after another year went by, I was no longer losing. Now I was at the point where I was predicting the markets, but I wasn't making any money. At first, I was literally looking at the markets and not knowing what the hell was going to happen. Now I'm looking at the markets and I'm having not only a great bias of if it's going to go up or down, but I'm actually predicting it to a precise price point by exactly what day it's going to get there. Now, all the 2 years of pain are becoming actually worth it. And I came across funding companies that they'll fund you. You could buy a challenge for a small fee. If you pass the challenge, they fund you. And this is where I had basically my big crack. I like to call it the golden era because things just went from not zero. I was at negative. It went from negative to plus 100 in the matter of 6 months. At 2.5 year mark, I received my first profitable amount of money that I got from the markets, $28,000. I'll never forget. Not only did I pay back the debt that I had with my parents, it's great, I get emotional and everything because 1 month just outdid 2 years of pain and made everything worth it for me. I paid back the debt of my parents and I said, you know what? Let's make this real. I bought a Rolex for $5,000 and I bought a brand new Mercedes S550. 2 more months went by. I had another great growing of the account. I scaled up to $80,000 in my bank account. I'll never forget $80,000 where I had literally never made that type of money. I had left Dunkin' Donuts and my only focus was trading. But then I entered a slope that I was not prepared for. A very slippery slope that almost cracked me completely and put me right back in the position that I was. The same month that I quit Dunkin' Donuts and I had made $80,000 in my account, I blew $30,000 of my net worth, which is nearly 50% of it in 1 single month. I feel like I was the king of the world. I thought that I was invincible and I felt like as if I could have won every single trade. What had happened is that I entered a winning streak for 3 months. I caught a great movement in the market and I capitalized off of it very well. It was perfectly timed. But then when that volatility started to go down, I was blinded. I thought that volatility was going to happen forever. And little did I know that me losing those $30,000 of my net worth put me in a position where now I'm scared to risk more money because I don't want to go back to work. I can't ask my parents for money again. Now I've raised my life to a certain standard that now I have to stay there and continue to grow. There's no way I can go down. So I pretty much cornered myself into a position where I was full of fear. I was scared to take the next step because I didn't want to lose. I didn't want to continue in pain. But I said, you know what? If I made it this far and I made this much money by simply showing up every single day, what did I do wrong? So I started analyzing my mistakes. I go back and I look at my trade history and I started looking at the trades that I took the losses on, and I started to look at the trades that I took a win on. That's where I realized that I was taking a good amount of trades that were trading with the trend when I won, and when I was taking trades that I would lose, I was taking trades against the trend. So there I see a little bit of a pattern. Then I realized that when I was making a lot of money, I was trading less. When I started losing money, I was trading more. And then I realized how much I was risking. Whenever I would risk less, I'd make more. Whenever I would risk more, I would lose less. These three things combined is probably one of the most powerful data points that I could have self-analyzed in my whole entire journey. Because what that did, it just not only made me redefine everything I was doing wrong and helped me optimize what I was doing right, but now I was no longer scared to take a next step because I knew exactly now why I failed. And I fixed it and I doubled down on what I did right. And all that combined gave me a new updated trading plan. But there was one thing that I realized. I wasn't holding my trades long enough. I wasn't capitalizing off of the markets that I was predicting. And that's where set and forget was born. I was scared of cutting my profit short. I was scared of letting the trade hit my stop loss. I was even scared of holding. That's where set and forget literally played in the factor perfectly. Set and forget took my results to a completely different level. Not only did I analyze my losses and fix them, but now I optimize my wins like I have never done before. I was making so much money by simply set and forgetting that I didn't even know what to do with it. The same exact trades that I was taking where I was making $500 to $1,000, now I'm making $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. Why? Because I'm set and forgetting. I'm making $10,000 a day, $20,000 a day, even $30,000 in one single day because I am holding and maximizing the winning trades that I was catching. And all this thanks to this one day. I'll never forget. I was trading London session, meaning I had to stay up very late into the night, and early into the morning, I'm obviously very tired because I haven't slept all night. And I have a lay down chair where I would just either lay back, take a quick nap, or just lay down and get comfortable just to watch the trade, because I'm watching the markets for 10 hours a day. And this one day, I fell asleep on the chair, and I fell asleep in the chair with about $4,000 in profit. And I never placed the take profit numbers because, again, I wanted to maximize my profits. I would just actively monitor it and close it myself. I fell asleep in the chair. I wake up 3 hours later from a very hefty nap, and I'm up $15,000. I was making money in my sleep. This is where everything now made sense. Maximize your profits and cut your losses. Set and fucking forget. And that very day, the set and forget strategy not only changed my life, but it started creating this massive quotes all around the world because it's something that traders all around the world were struggling on. Take entering a trade and just set and forgetting. It is as simple as that. Then you fast forward 2 years applying the set and forget strategy, and I had officially now become a millionaire trader, meaning I have $1 million in the bank account, $1 million in my trading account. And this felt good, but this is only the tip of the iceberg. I was only getting started in the ability that I had and me realizing the potential that this market had out there for me. $1 million in trading is nothing. And the more money I started to see, it wasn't enough. I wanted more. I wanted to go from 7 figures to 8 figures. But the type of person that you have to become to go from a 7-figure to 8-figure trader, you have to enter a whole new dark journey. And I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready to see $200,000 in a loss and then swings of $500,000 in profit and then another $200,000 in a loss. And again, I know that's all percentages at the end of the day, but it's my first time entering this type of swings with high numbers that I had personally never seen before on a personal account. But nonetheless, the set and forget strategy didn't fail me. I was following the same exact trades. The only difference is that now I'm risking a lot more than I was originally risking. I was risking on my personal account anywhere from 2 to 5%, but now I'm risking 10, 15, 20% because I want to be an 8-figure trader. And I know that there's risk behind that. I just have to be ready to accept it. At the beginning, I wasn't, and I took more losses than I should have, and I beat myself up for it. But I believed in my strategy, and I believed in myself to not only get out of those losses, but come out on top and end up as an 8-figure trader that I am now today, where I've made more than $13 million using this set and forget strategy. But even then, when I got to this level, I got bored. Like really. Like now, what am I going to go from an 8-figure trader to a 9-figure trader? I actually didn't want that. I didn't need more money. I have more money than I know what to do with.